Yeah, I didn't think this all the way through. That's not going to work. I'm supposed to be quiet and talk to you that we're going to go ahead and do A Quiet Place Day One. It came out in 2024, and I'm the Dad Panther. And this is another episode from the Critics Collective. So that's just not going to translate to good shows. At least I don't think so. But with that being said, hit the subscribe button, like, follow, comment, and all that other stuff. So for this, The Quiet Place Day One is a prequel that takes place after the first two movies that we get. You know, that one movie where you can't say anything because the monsters come and get you and they remove you from said scene. That movie. This takes place, unlike the countryside, this takes place in a major city, New York, to put a pin on that one. Now for this movie, I'm going to tell you my highs and lows. I'm just going to walk you through it. Then we're going to go ahead and rate it. And you can let me know in the comments if you saw it, what did you think, and things of that nature. Now, this movie, to me, could be summed up of going to the library, right? And you need to have a significant conversation with someone, and you tell them to meet you at the library. And they're sitting there saying in their head, like, this doesn't make any sense. And you get to the library, you're having that conversation that's really important that you need to have. It's a conversation where you kind of get loud and kind of forget where you're going. And people in the library have to tell you, shh. It's kind of like that, because the universe in which they created that was so well put together, dealing with the importance of sound and fear and terror without the sound, unfortunately gets lost on this one. I'm not saying it's not entertaining. I'm just saying it's kind of like gets lost. The stuff I would say I would take away from that is the cat. I'm not going to spoil anything, but if I have to worry about a cat to have peace in my life, I feel like something was wrong. The other thing was the world. They already set you up with how this world works, and it shouldn't have changed significantly from the origin of where you got to with those other movies. And I felt like it did. The drive, the plot, action had to happen, and dialogue had to happen like a video game. What I mean by that is everything's quiet, everything's cool, and then halfway through the movie, you start realizing, oh, it's like a video game. One of the characters needs to go over there and touch that, kick that, or say this, and then things will blow up again. And I felt like that's what was happening. The sound wasn't as good as the last one. Again, I think the other ones were so focused on the fear and the sound. That's what it was. Even to the point that I remember the first movie, watching it in theater, no one would talk. Like literally, no one wanted to eat popcorn. They didn't want to sip out of their Slurpee or whatever, because they felt that the sound they made would cause the people on screen, like Until Dawn type of stuff, right? And this one I felt like didn't have that impact. Now, the good stuff I will say is the cast. I thought the stars did a great job. Some of the co-stars did a good job as well. I think the action for what it was and their sense of storytelling fit. I thought the setting was good. I thought New York going through something. New York's always going through something. I thought they did another job of keeping the idea of New York's going through something. I also can see them doing another one to close off the prequel origin story and then connect back to the timeline and jump forward again. I can see them putting that together. Now, this movie is not a thriller in the sense of thinking like, I guess, horror movie, blood and guts and stuff like that, but it will, in most cases, get your pulse up in certain areas. So let's go ahead and rate this. We rate this from a 0 to a 5. Like I said, it just didn't have the magic as the first one. Felt at times kind of like a video game. They had to feed you the plot. It felt like certain moments and things in this universe they did not put together. And but I still would say it's a good watch. I would say, hey, it's average at best. Hit the subscribe button, like, follow for more. But I think a lot of people will enjoy this. If you enjoy the franchise, you'll like it. And if you haven't watched any of the Quiet Place as a franchise, it's actually good to kind of start with this one and go into it in order, and I think you'll appreciate it more and more. So with that being said, you could have been anywhere in the world and you were here, and I greatly appreciate that. Until next time, Kalika out.